Hey, Blue Rockers, Connie Willis here with Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. And of course, Crypto Connie is happening. We've been talking to some really cool people. Stan Larimer, of course. Gerald Salente is always fun. Jonathan Baihai. And then we got to talk to Jared just the other day, Jared Rice, which talking about the bank system. And now somebody that Jared actually mentioned on the last show is Sean Worthington. That's who we're going to be talking to today. He's got something really cool, very unique that I want you guys to stick around for. Now keep in mind that all the links are down below, anything that you want to know just about Sean himself and also about Steam It. You guys have a lot of questions about that. Be sure to follow me down below. Wanting to know how to get a hold of a bitshares wallet, that's down below. Wanting to learn all sorts of new things, that should be down below. And if it's not, we'll put it down into the comments, okay? Be sure while you're here to hit like, comment, share. Let's have a good time. Let's all make some money here. It's a way we can all make some money, cryptocurrency. However, we're going to bring Sean Worthington in now, and we're going to talk to him because actually he doesn't have anything to do with cryptocurrency, but you might relate it with that. So, hey there, Sean. Welcome to Blue Rock Talk. Nice to see you.
Oh, it's nice to see you too. Thank you very much for having me.
I love your reaction when I said, because I got it right. Now, keep in mind, we're all learning from a layman's kind of way here. So forgive me if I ask a question that you think is really silly, because it won't be silly to me.
Yes.
And the others. But so it's not cryptocurrency. You have something called CloudCoin, and that's way different. Is it? And in fact, it's so different. Is it before its time?
Well, I don't think it's before its time. I think it's right at its time because we're seeing that there are some weaknesses with the cryptocurrencies. And this basically solves all the problems that we have. I've been working on a PhD in computer information systems. And what I did is I realized that monetary systems are information systems. They're just accounting systems that keep track of who's making value for society and who should get that value out, to be fair. And the key of this is a database. And so we actually create a physical representation of a database in that instead of having an electronic version, we ourselves are like rows in a table, and the tokens that we have, the coins, the dollar bills, that's actually data. So we figured out that money is in fact data, and most people don't know what the hell data is. But basically, its job is to be true, and to be good data, it's got to have integrity. And if we open up a PhD level database book, we can see the laws and the rules of data. And what we did is we just took all those rules and we applied them to digital money, and we've come up with CloudCoin. It's a counterfeit detection system. It does not track all of the transactions that ever happen. It just tells you if a coin is real or not.
Wow. You know, I have a lot of friends that have gotten into the cryptocurrency world because they don't want people to know who they are, where they are, what they're spending. However, the crypto world, it tells the entire public what they've done, every move. It right? It covers it all.
Yeah, and so if I have a dollar bill, I can go spend that or give it to somebody, and nobody knows. There's no public ledger. And it's the same thing with CloudCoin. CloudCoin does not have public ledger. It's a bunch of data. It does take up space on your hard drive, and you give it to somebody else. And when you have it, you change it so that only you have that specific type of data. And so we own it by knowing it as opposed to having it. And it's completely different. There's no accounts necessary. You don't have to have a wallet or anything special to sign up. So it might be the most private currency ever created in human history. Sounds incredible.
It is that, and it's such a different mindset because we're learning here right now in Blue Rock Talk just cryptocurrency itself. So
Yes.
now you come in with this that it almost blows everything else out the door.
Well, if there was an Olympics, we would win every category except for one, and that is that CloudCoin does not track everything. And so, but when it comes to speed or privacy or efficiency, ours is hands down the best.
Yeah, you're saying it's the easiest, the most private, and also the safest of all.
That's right. And it comes in JPEG images, so we can have these pictures. You can play with the pictures if you want to, and it can be embedded in text files, and it can be embedded in Word files. It can be hidden. And in fact, because money is data, and we can store data on hard drives and paper, we can actually store data in our minds. And so it's possible for us to store at least part of the CloudCoin in our mind so that it is what we believe unhackable.
Oh my gosh. To me, this is way beyond cryptocurrency. This is way ahead of its time. This is the future's future. I like to say cryptocurrency, the future's now happening, but you are ahead of that. I mean, okay, tell me where you're at with it, and because I'm thinking this will wipe out everybody. I mean, why would we even talk about anything else sometimes when I read this?
Mm-hmm. I think it will. I mean, there is some use for the public ledger. The public ledger is good at recording things and keeping a record of everything.
Right. And
it does allow, we've got something called the physical integrity problem of digital money. And what that means is that if I have some digital money on my computer, it's really easy to copy it and paste it and delete it. And if we have some kind of central server with a public ledger or with a ledger, it's possible to just kick over that server or destroy it, or have the government come in and seize it. And so Bitcoin was the first money, the first digital money to solve that problem with the blockchain. And RAIDA, which is the redundant array of independent detection agents, is the second technology to solve that issue.
Does that take away the blockchain at this point?
That's right, it does. Yeah. So,
okay, so that's why I'm saying you're way ahead already.
right.
So, no, I'm serious. I don't even know how to put this in words, because what you're saying, you might as well get rid of the blockchain, and you might as well get rid of all the crypto stuff and just go to you, and that's it. I mean, you would be the only coin globally, as far as I'm concerned, from what you're saying. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. There is the CloudCoin, as far as we're concerned, should dominate all other currencies, whether it's digital or real or gold or silver. It should be a global currency. It's scalable. It's completely private, and so we think it's what we call the perfect currency, because we have, for the first time, been able to define what it means to be good money. What is perfect currency? One of those things is that can't be counterfeited. So with Bitcoin, you can create new Bitcoins if you're a miner. If you're, even with gold and silver, you can go out to silver mines and you can mine up silver and add those to your coin systems. But with CloudCoin, it's a set amount, and it's fixed. It's baked into the system. The only way that we can grow it is to actually clone or copy the entire system, which we can do. But that leads to a split where everybody's coins, they just have twice as many of them. Or if we split it 10 times, they have 10 times as many. So it's all proportional, and all the coins grow together at the same time.
So how do you see this moving into the world, and let's say everybody ended up having this? Would that mean that everybody would have the equal amount of money as well? I mean, is that maybe something you're shooting for, or no?
Well, no, I'm not talking about equal amounts of money. Unfortunately, some people are good, hard workers, and some people aren't good. And so the system, to be fair and just, should reward those people that are hardworking and should not reward those people that aren't. And so what we have right now is an alliance between the banking system and the governments. And it's kind of like the church and state alliance back when the Catholic Church supported the governments of Europe. But the way it works, pardon me.
No drinking on the show. You know that, right? No drinking.
Just a little vodka. Okay? So what happens is it's a crime to counterfeit. People hate it when you counterfeit, but the government allows the banking system to create new money.
Yes, that's the problem.
Yes, and the banking system lets the government borrow all they want. And so basically we have an information system that's being hacked. It's being hacked by the government, and it's being hacked by the bankers. And so actually all of the rich bankers are getting richer because they know how to hack the system. But we also have these people that are coming in through the government, and it's being hacked by the the bankers. And so actually all of the rich bankers are getting richer because they know how to hack the system. But we also have these people that are coming in through the government and government programs, and they are also hacking the system. And it causes a whole bunch of distortions in our market because we human beings, we need to look at money to make decisions on what we do, where we go to work, the actions that we make. And so it's a command and control system, and it's a distributed command and control system. And without good money, we make bad decisions. And so you can kind of think about it like ants. Ants use pheromones to communicate with each other. And if you were to go in and spray a bunch of pheromones around an ant hill, it would screw them all up. They wouldn't know what to do.
It'll freak them out. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
They'll be like, the sky is falling.
That's right. And so the government will come in with these programs. For example, they give loans out for low-income housing. And you might think that would be a good thing, but actually it causes people to do things that they shouldn't do. And the same goes into the other end, the high end, the whole housing market. And in fact, Bitcoin has gone up more than it really should. It should have a utility, and it should go up at a stable rate. It shouldn't go up in this big explosion that it did. And unfortunately, I think that's going to now pop. We're going to see it go down. But the only way that could happen is because of the Federal Reserve and its ability to pump out money and to put it into new technologies like it does.
Well, one of the things I really like about the cryptocurrency, and again, I'm very new to it, I'm learning, that's why we have this series going on, but I like that the regular Joe Schmo, we can get rich off this. Yes. We can just be wealthy and happy and, use it as we wish. What yes. about your, is what you're saying, is this going to take that away? If we do CloudCoin, will that take that away from us?
So the reason why cryptocurrency should make us rich is because, number one, we're able to cut through all of these government rules that hinder efficient activities. So money is there to make us more productive. It's there to make us more efficient. It's there to make us economize. And for example, the nation of Venezuela, their government tries to put a tariff on dollars. But if you've got Bitcoin, you can go in and buy a bunch of oil there and just skip through all that regulation and be able to get that oil by going directly. And so that's a big, giant plus. It also allows us to sit at our computers and trade all over the world, just like we're, paying with cash. And so it allows us to have a bigger economy in which everybody can be smarter and do better. And so it should give everybody that uses it an economic advantage. It should make them better able to make decisions, and it should stop them from getting ripped off of these hacks that are happening with the Federal Reserve notes and other currencies around the world. So digital currency is certainly a wonderful thing. It's a great thing for liberty. And in my book, I describe the future of what I think could happen if we were able to achieve privacy. Ayn Rand said that civilization is the movement towards privacy. And if we had a currency in which we could buy and sell things without anybody knowing them, well, it would be impossible to tax that. We wouldn't have any bank fees. We wouldn't have any tariffs. We wouldn't have any public pressure. Like if we go out, we might not want to be caught dead in Walmart. We want to be in Macy's because we look better there. And so we might, but if we could go to Walmart completely private and buy things, then we would be more likely to economize and do the things that make sense to us instead of bending to public pressure. So digital currency is a big deal, and it's going to make a huge impact. And Bitcoin has been wonderful, and that has woken up everybody, and it's shown the world what can be done. But the technology, of course, is not scalable. It's too slow. And there's some other problems, like it's not quantum safe, and that's going to be an issue in the next decade.
Well, we've been talking about bitshares
yes.
because theirs is so much faster, and it can take
yes.
the load, right?
That's right. Yeah, and so that is highly desirable because if it takes you 4 hours to buy a Pepsi, that's a big problem.
Absolutely.
Of course, I know that bitshares is one of the currencies that doesn't have mining.
Right.
Of course, mining is ridiculous. It is truly a silly thing, and it's basically just counterfeiting. It's a waste of electricity, and it's not necessary for a money system to have physical integrity. You don't need that. And so bitshares definitely is a big advancement over Bitcoin by a large degree.
Absolutely, I love it. I love the way Stan stands behind it as well, and I agree with what he says, and I've fallen in love with that, because I'm like, well, yeah, it's a given. This is the way to go. The speed, taking the load, getting rid of the miners. This is very, very fair this way, and it's very quick. But how do you fit into this with the CloudCoin and RAIDA?
And so when I look at bitshares, I think of it as a stock, and I think that stocks and money are different. And of course, bitshares say, hey, they're the same thing. And we can trade stocks just like it's money. But in fact, I think there is a difference. The bitshare is going to reference something. And so there should be something called referential integrity, which means that we've got something that points to something else that's good. And hopefully that stuff that's good is actually there. Like they can make it point to gold, or they can make it point to some kind of company or some kind of organization.
Right, they can put that on the blockchain and use that. Right. Okay, it's not just a coin.
CloudCoin does not do that. So right. CloudCoin is just pure data. We don't point to anything, and it's not a share. It's not a stock. It's a money. And so I think it's different. And so I think it's very possible for them to coexist and each have their own reason for existing. Right. Their own niche. So I don't think that there's any problem with that.
We can all live together. So, so Blue Rocker's out there. He mentioned his book. I have a link down below in the book, but I also have a link down below that will get you his book for free. I believe I have that link, and some other links where you can get some free cloud coins as well. So that's all going to be down in the description below. As well as you can get his book free, and that'll be interesting for you too. Besides talking about how we can get that stuff free, because I want to definitely let you talk about that. But so tell me how it would work. Let's say, like I know that I can get 5 free coins, and I just did get some. I went in there and did all your neat little things, learning about you. So when I get my 5 coins. Is it all good to go now? And what can I do with it? Can I trade it with others if I even wanted to? Or do I avoid that because it is so different? Maybe I can't even do it because it is so different. But can I go out and buy a pizza? Or tell me about how I can practically use it.
Yeah, so for money to be valuable, it's got to be usable. I mean, somebody's got to be able to accept it. And we are right now in the process of making that happen, making the software to make that happen. And so we've got to be, CloudCoin is the only currency that can be actually imported into software. And so this is a big change, and we're creating a video game to show how it can be brought in and traded within the video game and how you can buy in-game items. And so we're making something called an SDK, a software development kit. This basically allows anybody to put CloudCoin in their software. And right now we can't even do it with ourselves, really. And we're trying to get an exchange because CloudCoin on an exchange is treated more like a fiat currency than a digital currency, because all you have to do is you just receive it through email instead of through your bank, and you just have to make sure it's authentic. You have to run it through an authenticity detection pro software to make sure it's real. So we're still developing the liquidity side of things, making sure that people can exchange it into stuff.
So that's like even taking, if I go to the store and I got a $50 bill or a $100 bill or even a $20 bill, and they take it and they look it through the light, to make sure it's real. So it's kind of what you're talking about. Exactly
what it is. And so in a distributed system like CloudCoin or money, the major administrative effort is detecting counterfeits. In the public ledger system, you just want to check transactions, make sure the transactions are good.
And so the computer where I can have my money is kind of almost like my own back pocket.
Yes.
Right?
We call it a bank. Yeah, and a lot of people don't like it when we call it a bank, but we call it a pocket bank.
Bank.
We've got the Android Pocket Bank, and
the Android, you gotta have a an Apple, Mac version too, right?
We do. We have something called Investors Edition that we made for Mac.
Thank you. Okay.
And we have this thing called Consumers Edition for Windows. So we've got a lot of different software out there.
Okay.
We even have a website where you just drag the CloudCoin onto the middle of the page, and it tells you if it's real or not.
Oh,
so
wow.
it can be quite simple.
Well, now I just talked with Jared.
Mm-hmm.
So Jared Rice, and he's putting this entire decentralized bank on the blockchain. So you're talking about your own bank. So are you guys, I mean, that's two different things right there, two different entities.
Yes. Well, so it's we number one, we have the same goal. And number two, we can actually do both. And so we can have it so that the blockchain people can use the blockchain, and the CloudCoin people can use the CloudCoin. And so we don't have to do. We can give people choices. And so if they don't want to use CloudCoin because they don't like it, or they don't want to use the cryptocurrency, they'll have that choice.
Oh, okay. So it's not like so it's like if I want Bitcoin, I can get Bitcoin, and then I can also get bitshares, and I can get EOS, and I can get PPY, and I can get whatever, and I just CloudCoin, and it's just another coin.
That's right. And so it's going to be up to popular demand, and we're going to see the evolution, and we're going to see what is maybe one system will end up being more popular than the other.
I guess you're hoping for that, right? And believe in that, right?
I'm happy I'm happy when people are trading privately, successfully amongst ourselves, and that we can get away from Big Brother watching us. But I think that we've got a good product. I think we're going to be able to come to market very quickly. I think people are going to like it. It's going to be able to put a bank on everybody's computer, everybody's cell phone, sorry.
Yeah, smartphones, right? Yeah, that's okay.
We're going to be able to write each other checks. We're going to be able to receive money while we're sleeping, and be able to have bill pay and all of that kind of stuff that we would expect from banking, all completely distributed. We're not going to need banks. We're not going to need tellers or vaults or parking lots or ATMs. It's going to be revolutionary. And we support that vision that Arise Bank is putting forth.
Okay. Well, what about your coin? Can we use it now?
Yes, you can. And so one of the, our coin is not a big investor coin. Our coin is a use coin. So people that hear about it usually buy it because they want to use it. They want to spend it. And you can just email it to somebody. You can send it over Skype. You can send it over Facebook.
Wow.
And so it's very easy to transport it. And so as far as quickly doing transactions, it's the coin to use.
Oh, absolutely. It's like at Christmas time, you can go, oh, here you go. Here, you can quickly send
right.
it, right? And birthdays or anything, or somebody's in trouble. Here, let me send you some money now. That's really nice. So, well, this is what I'm finding out. Okay, so, and I'll bring up the example of Steemit. Okay, you're familiar with Steemit?
Yes.
Okay, so here I have Steam and Steam-backed dollars, and I see that it's going up, the Steam-backed dollars. So, hey, I want to, cash some of that in. Mm-hmm. And I want to cash it in so I can pull it out and pay off a debit card or a credit card. Yes. So, in order to cash it out, I've got to turn it into, I've got to power it down too, by the way, if I've got it hooked up into the power. So I got to do that number. Then I've got to trade it for Bitcoin, and then I've got to put it into another wallet somewhere else, right? And then somewhere else before I can ever get it to me for money. So that's a problem. But secondly, why do I always have to turn everything into real money before I can pay something off?
That's right. And so that's the big challenge. And I do know the secret to that, but it is a secret.
Tell me.
We've done some scientific studies in Venezuela, and we know how that works. Like I said, knowing that information gives us an advantage, and we'll probably talk about it next year after we've dominated. But you're right. That is a situation that is very important for us to solve. And
yeah, and not only is it is it that I always have to go back to the dollar? But it's the dollar that's not really worth that much. All the other stuff is.
Yes. We have a solution for that.
Okay, so you yourself have a solution. Your company, what you're talking about, has the solution. You can't talk about it yet. But,
that's right. Yeah.
But you have it.
Yes. So that's a trade secret, and it's not going to be a secret for long. We just want to keep that secret enough to where we can rise above the 1,000 other currencies, because it's a tremendous market advantage to be able to do that.
Like absolutely, and I'm glad that I'm asking the right questions and having the spot on to where you're trying to fix it. I definitely appreciate that. Yeah. So with yours, can I take yours and let's say I want, okay, I got my Steam and I want to turn it into bitshares. Can I do, I've got some bitshares and I want to turn it into cloud. Can I do that?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
So at least I think you can. So we have a crypto exchange which allows you to basically buy CloudCoin with cryptocurrencies. And I don't know if all of them are supported or if Steam specifically is supported, but I know that the big ones are supported, like Ethereum and Bitcoin and a lot of the other ones. So that's certainly possible. And of course, we have what we call a highly private exchange. And the problem is when you start an exchange, you're going to subject yourself to these American laws, where even if you're in another country, and there was this guy in Russia that had an exchange, and he went on vacation, I think it was in Cyprus, and the United States government grabbed him and said, "You're selling, you're selling stuff to Americans, and so we have the right to grab you." And so this happened, just a few months ago. What we want to have is an exchange in which we can keep the government out, and where the government can't do anything, and where we don't break any laws. We do have an exchange like that is intended to go up in the next 2 weeks. I think they just put it up on the actual production server today. And this is like, it's not high volume. I mean, it's not like the Coinbase or something, but it is an exchange that is private, no accounts necessary. I mean, actually, we haven't created an account, but they don't have to prove who they are.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have to show who they are. And so it's a new type of exchange. I don't know that anybody's ever created one of these before.
Yeah. I mean, and let me just read through some of your things here, the information I have. Okay, the first cloud-based digital currency cannot be counterfeited or double spent. I didn't even realize they were being double spent out there. Holy cow.
Well, I mean, Bitcoin cannot be double spent. So counterfeiting and I guess double spending is a real issue with old digital currency.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, I got you. Right, that makes sense. The transaction completely private, like you say. You don't need an account. That's great. So you don't need passwords, correct?
That's right.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. Right there alone.
You have to log in.
Oh, that's so hard. Easy to buy, spend, and sell. Of course, it's always easy to spend, right? Well, actually, no, it's not easy to spend. It's easy to want to spend it. It's not easy to actually spend some of these. And you don't need a special software. No encryption. It's impossible to steal. If you encrypt them, they can be recovered if you lose them. So they can be recovered if you lose them. That's excellent.
Yeah, so this is part of physical integrity. There's already been 4 million Bitcoins that have been lost.
Oh, really?
Big problem, because if you lose coins faster than you mine them, then you could end up not having any coins, because they all get lost. With cloud coins, with Bitcoins, they pay for the system by creating new Bitcoins. The miners do. We have the equivalent of miners, but they mine for lost coins. And so they make money every time they find a coin that has not been authenticated in the past 2 years.
Oh.
And if they find a coin that belongs to somebody, or somebody is claimed as being lost, then we can return it to that person.
Okay. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, so on the blockchain and digital currency or cryptocurrency, you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, bitshares, the EOS, the PPY, the Hero. So you have all these different ones, and they all have their little look.
Mm-hmm.
So the CloudCoin, will you just have one look, or does the CloudCoin going to have a whole bunch of different ones? Because it's really kind of a concept, right? I mean, it's the fact that it's a whole different coin. So you're going to have many different coins that do different things?
Well, we certainly can, because we're a counterfeit detection system, and we can associate our coins with data. And so we can actually create a digital asset which cannot be accessed except by the person who owns the coin. And so right now we're working on these collectibles where a celebrity might have a private picture that nobody sees, and we put that on the RAIDA. The RAIDA cannot be hacked like a regular server can, because the data is actually shredded out on 25 different servers, and you would have to hack all 25, and they're all in different parts of the country, run by different people with different software and operating systems and everything. So we're going to try to stop the hack. But back to the counterfeit detection system, you could have this certificate that allows you to unlock that data. You can be the only one in the world that can see it, and then you could trade it or sell it. We've got this bird watching program that we're doing, and where people go through the forest and they can see these birds, but the birds are actually cloud coins in the shape of birds. And when they take pictures of them, then they can take ownership, and then they can show their friends that they own this digital bird.
Huh, that's interesting.
And we can also bring it into the physical world, where we've got this nanotechnology in which we can create kind of like a thing that changes, allows us to update numbers. And so we could embed this in shoes, and you could then walk through a detector and it could say, oh, you got real shoes, or that they're originals, or something like that.
Oh, wow.
You can tell the counterfeit shoes the real shoe from the real ones.
You're giving up everybody's secrets too that way, right?
It works for fine art, and so
right.
But it also works. It could work for a private Facebook and a private YouTube, where we put videos up there. These videos, when you put them up there, they cannot be hacked, and they cannot. They can only be viewed by the person that's got the cloud coin, basically, to take a look at those. And you can then share those with your friends. And so we're creating this whole stop the hack thing, in which we would allow big companies to store credit card information and things like that would stop them from ever being hacked.
Man, that's like James Bond stuff. That's really cool. Tell me what your background is to where you even think like this. I mean, these are all your ideas, right? I mean, this is awesome. So what is your background? I know a little bit about it, but please tell the Blue Rockers about yourself.
Well, I was raised in Magalia, and every morning I had to get up and start a fire. And
where's Magalia?
Magalia is in Northern California. It's about 2 hours north of Sacramento.
And you had to start a fire every morning?
What's that?
You had to start a fire every morning?
Yes, and that ended up helping me, because I competed at this Stanford youth competition. It was called Operation Raleigh. And Prince Charles of Wales was going around trying to create this experiment where they would take people from all over the world, kids from all around the world, and they would put them in these remote locations and have them collaborate and do science together instead of fight each other. And so I was at this contest, and I actually won. I was able to start a fire without matches. I was the only one that was like the winning thing. And
I love it.
I'm 16% American Indian, and I guess they thought that was cool too. And so I ended up going to the Australian outback and doing vegetation surveys and crocodile surveys and all kinds of different soil surveys, doing science with people from all around the world. So that got me interested in that. And then I joined the Air Force and became a jet aircraft mechanic. So I'm actually a FAA licensed airframe and power plant mechanic. So I know all about that complicated stuff. And then when I got back, I decided to study industrial technology. And that's where you learn how to make stuff, basically. And when I was about done with that program, I realized that wasn't going to pay off. That was a bad thing. So I studied economics, which I was interested in. Studied for that for about 30 units, and then realized the money's in computer science. Switched to that, became a computer science instructor. I've been teaching for about 17 years.
Wow.
At the same time, doing my own little projects during the summer and during my off time. And working on a PhD, as I told you.
Wow.
And being an assistant administrator.
Well, how'd you come up to the CloudCoin? Did you just say, you know what, I think there's a better way?
Well, I'm a big fan of the Stefan Molyneux show. And I don't know if you've heard of Stefan Molyneux.
Nope.
So he's a YouTube philosopher.
Okay.
And he has a philosophy show, and I got really into it. And I decided that I was going to start learning or teaching my daughter philosophy because we homeschool. And so we got this college-level book, and we read 20 minutes of it every day. And one of the things that we read about was Plato's forms, which is just kind of this weird thing. But one day I was sitting in the bathtub listening to Molyneux, and I got the idea of what is the essence of money? What makes money money? And my first idea was that it was counterfeitability. Can it be counterfeited? And it wasn't that it could not be counterfeited, it was how difficult it was to counterfeit. If it was difficult to counterfeit, then that would make it good. That would make it usable. And then I started thinking about, well, what would be the perfect money? And that's when I came to the realization that, hey, monetary systems are information systems. Money's data. Just open the textbook and look at it. We've already got the science figured out.
Yeah. Wow. As simple as that. As simple as that. That's amazing. I love it. I just learning about it, just reading it up before I even talked to you, I thought, this can wipe out everything else that's out there.
You've got to read the book because
I've got it. I will. I promise.
There's the good world, but there's also the bad world, because with the blockchain, it allows governments to assign us accounts just like Social Security numbers, in which they can monitor everything that we do, and that they can tax everything that we can do, and they can redistribute wealth and create what could be called a blockchain socialism. And socialism disincentivizes everyone. It makes the lazy people work less and the people that are hardworking to work less. And so the whole economy takes a dive. And so that kind of situation would be a nightmare.
And you saying that, from what I have learned, is that's what people are thinking it's not going to do. Because people don't think it can be taxed, or it is being taxed. I guess the rules are being made right now, right? But everything is shown. Everybody knows who you are, even if you have a different name, some little fake handle of some sort. They're still going to eventually track you down in some way. So where everybody, I know a lot of people that get on there and go, no one's going to know what I'm doing. It's going to be very cryptic. No, it's not. It's very public. And I do believe the government's going to get in, like you're saying, but not with yours.
I hope not. So we want to keep that out. I mean, we can see how Coinbase, the exchange, has had this government creep into it. The IRS demanded that they report all of the people who were making more than $20,000 worth of sales or something. And I wonder if they had access to the keys, because Coinbase has the keys. And if they did, if they could link those keys to the name, they could then track everybody's transactions. And so that's a serious issue, and that is not what we want. And so that's not going to work, and that's going to work against us. So I think the blockchain is the first technology that shows it works. It's pseudo-anonymous. But we need something now that is really anonymous, something that is really decentralized, where we don't need exchanges, and we need to just forget about the dollar. And I think I know how we can do that, but we need to have our own economy. It does not have to default back to the dollar because we have to pay our rent with it or something.
Well, I tell you, I like how you're talking. I like all your ideas. So make sure that you wear bulletproof vest and everything else. I don't want someone taking you out, because you have great ideas, and I want you to protect yourself along the way, not just for your family, but for the world. I mean, this is really great information, and I'm looking forward to learning more. Are you cool with coming back along the way when you have neat advances?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, please let me know when something's happening. Go, Connie, I've got something. Let's talk.
Okay.
Are you open to going live and talking to Blue Rockers so they can ask you questions sometimes?
Absolutely. I can, I can take it all.
Excellent. Because they're going to ask me things and I'll go, I have no idea. I'm going to have to call Sean. So I appreciate that. Before we go, is there anything else you want to say that you didn't say?
Well, I would, repeat what you said, and that is that we do have a marketing partner, and it's called digitalfrontiernews.com, and they do have my book, and they do have 5 free cloud coins that you can try out, and I think it's going to be interesting for you. I think you're going to like it, and you're going to get a glimpse of what the future is going to be like, and get ready. I mean, let's not waste any time. Let's get into it.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the other things that you can't tell about yet. Hopefully you'll tell them here on Blue Rock Talk.
All right.
Okay, got a deal. All right. So all the links are down below. And where else can they get a hold of you? Again, what are all the links that they can contact you?
They can email me at cloudcoin@protonmail.com. Sorry, protonmail.com, encrypted. They can follow my Twitter, which is CloudCoin Global. LinkedIn, Sean Worthington. Facebook, we have CloudCoin Consortium, and there's a lot of other ones. If they want to buy it, they can just Google buy CloudCoin. I'm sure they'll find something.
All right. I'm looking forward to my 5 that I'm going to be getting here and see what happens at that point. So can I also find it on the market? Can I go and look and see where it's at?
Oh, because there's no exchange that's official, we're not on any kind of market cap.
Oh, so let's say, if I want $5 worth or $100 worth, what do I do?
Well, so in 2 weeks we're going to have an exchange. It's CloudCoin Exchange.
Oh, okay.
I never should tell that because right now we just put up the production server. Hopefully it's actually working. But we're just testing it out and making sure it's working. But we have an exchange called cloudcoinexchange.ch. That is in Switzerland. You go there. You look at all the trusted sellers, and you can email the exchange master and say, hey, I've got $500. I see that so-and-so is selling it for this amount. I want to buy it from that person. And they will set you up, and you can our exchanges never touch money, and we never ask you for your information. But we allow you to connect to other people. And so if you want to be completely anonymous, you want to have an anonymous email account, we suggest protonmail.com, and you can make the trade.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, it's swirling in my head. I still got to, wrap myself around this, but I'm definitely going to be talking to you again and asking you a whole lot more. So I appreciate it.
Well, good.
I appreciate too if you subscribe to Blue Rock Talk, and when you do, you will become what is called a Blue Rocker. A Blue Rocker is someone in the know. All right. So that would be you, right?
Uh-huh.
And when you come across another Blue Rocker, what you do is this is our little hand signal. So you can do that, right? Connie, there you go.
All right.
Got to work on that, but it's okay. All right. So this is Crypto Connie, and this is Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis, and this was Sean Worthington. Thank you so much. CloudCoin and what is it? ADAR?
RAIDA.
RAIDA.
Yes.
I had all the little letters in there. I just had them wrong. Very nice talking to you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
This is Connie Willis and Sean for Blue Rock Talk and Crypto Connie. I love it. That's my most fun part of the entire show is seeing when people try to do that. Now Stan Larimer can do waka Pac-Man with it.